right. So common loot. So if you were NPC and got attacked, what would you drop?
I think I would drop like probably just like a tape recorder. It's like you click it and it goes like, "I believe in you." And that's it. That's all I got.
That's common loot. Might even go to the junk bag.
That's fine.
I would drop one of two things or both things. It would probably be a phone charger and or pocket knife.
No vengeance.
No.
Okay.
That dies with me.
I think I'd probably drop like socks of anxiety with customer service. Just like whenever you deal with like a shopkeep, you just start sweating.
Can you only equip them if you're in customer service?
Oh no, they're cursed items. So once you equip them, that's it. You don't take them off. Whenever
you immediately go to like customer service,
you're teleported to a desk. Like,
you kind of die.
No, it's just like every time you go to like McDonald's and you're like, oh, I gotta deal with people.
And it's just -1, -1, -1, -1.
Then you're poisoned and it's just wasted.
And someone's like, "Are you all right?" It's like, "Yeah, this happens." Can I have 2 McChickens? Friends and family of the multiverse, they call me Ace Trainer Argent, Ace Trainer West Willie. You get it, you know. But I am here with the Blerd Bar, welcoming you to BNR. But I am just one head of this dragon. I want to kick it to my man, to my right, the Hawk from the heavens. Talk to the people, my guy.
Yo, 'tis I, hailing from the land of Sake, Shinobi, and Samurai. The boy is Godzilla personified. Ain't no other name but this to go by. It's your boy, J-Hawk. Let's go. But I am not the only one. Over on the left, far left, it is the bull, the man, the bull.
You already know who it is. It's
Pull
Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Rodan. A.K.A. Pastor Dan. A.K.A. Elastic Band. Bars.
Blerd.
A.K.A. that bull. No, I'm not that bull. I'm that guy. But anyway,
TG.
coming at you live from the 215.
215.
Your comic book connoisseur, your sommelier, sci-fi and superheroes. Here again to welcome you to another episode of BNR My Barflies. How y'all doing? That's great.
One more again.
Last time.
One more again.
You doing better than me at being me, man. I love it.
Oh, Dan. No one could ever be you.
That's
but
right.
You.
You'd have to be 2 more people.
Stop. So welcome. BNR stands.
I am broken inside.
This episode is sponsored by
Therapy.
Right. Or Talkspace. The BNR stands for a booze, a news, and reviews. So, Drunken Master, please walk us through. What do we got?
Yo, homie, look at what we got right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? We got this right here. We got this Battlefield, you know what I mean? Blackberry flavored vodka, Old Republic Distillery, York, PA, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you can't buy black, buy local.
Exactly. So this hails from Central Market House, York, PA. In 1888, the Central Market House was built in downtown York, PA. The building cost $45,000 to build and was designed by a local York architect named J.A. Dempwolf.
That's a fake name.
So that's what he decided to put on the bottle. I can't.
Sure? I should have investigated this further.
The Romanesque architectural style market house is about 35,000 square feet, spanning a city block, and is one of our nation's most historic markets. Central Market York still stands strong today and is bustling with farmers, small local business, visitors, and the people of York County who come here to buy fresh meats, vegetables, fruits, and other local homemade goodies. To this historical structure, the local farmers and business who have shared this space over the past 125 years, we raise our glass. Cheers. So that had nothing to do about this blackberry vodka.
And everything to do about where the bottle came from.
Yeah.
Yo, they really laid out the starter town, though. Like, I can hear the music.
Streets of River Run. 40% alcohol, 80 proof. So we about to just get into it and see what it do, baby.
I'm going to be real careful because I'm not trying to get real goofy.
I ain't scared, cuz.
But while we're doing that, Dan, you want to walk us through news?
Got a little bit of news here.
Ooh, you heard that?
That was sexy. I like
to
it.
be nasty up in the
I don't know about
nasty.
So a few random pieces of news coming from the camps of
Smell that blackberry.
from the camps of like Disney and other movies and such. Disney Jungle Cruise has already set up a sequel.
that. Awfully presumptuous, aren't we?
But I mean, I felt like whenever The Rock's involved, he's kind of just like,
Why not?
why not?
He always gonna collect that paper.
Run me that money. Spider-Man No Way Home is currently reporting a spectacular runtime of 150 minutes. So buckle up. We gonna get a movie, y'all. We gonna get a nice movie.
It's 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah,
That's
still.
It's a normal Marvel movie. That's a little short for a
I
movie.
mean that's closer. That's closer to Endgame.
I was about to say.
Oh,
that.
you're
was
right.
an
Yeah,
Endgame.
yeah,
See,
you're right.
It's
You're right.
kind of wild.
You uppity because you like you had that Endgame and you like that's how I want all my movies.
No, I don't. Oh, we also got the Snyder cut. Don't forget.
What?
What?
Anyway,
Call back.
Shaggy.
hey, Heyo. Expendables 4 is currently starting production with adding 50 Cent and Megan Fox to the franchise. The choices we make, and Expendables seems to really be tying in the idea of expendability.
It's like Smash Brothers, but nobody wants this. So like Smash Brothers.
Wait, people want Smash Brothers, right?
People want Melee. Anyway, this is not that. You are safe. You are
This is
safe
not
here.
that. No, that was on my news.
Is that just me? What? I'm the only one who wants Smash. That's the only reason I would get. Wait, hold on. I guess my question is, what's on the Switch? Is it Smash Brothers or is it something else?
That's a lot
is
of
it
things.
Ultimate or something like that?
Ultimate is on the Switch. Yes.
Ultimate's on the Switch.
Hey, I'm sorry.
No, you don't have nothing to apologize for.
You are seen and you
Brawl
are loved.
Stars, So what do I know?
This is great, being almost iceberg cold.
Mm-hmm.
It almost deceptively like makes you forget the burn, and then the burn's like, "I'm here."
Hey guys.
Present.
But this is definitely BlackBerry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is like I feel like they took the essence of BlackBerry and just like put it in this bottle. It's really good, but it's very even. You know, as you feel it, you taste it in the beginning, you taste it when it aerates, and you taste it on the back too.
Yeah, and then you kind of still have to remember it's vodka though.
I think I am well reminded that it's vodka.
Almost immediately, right?
Yeah, it smells like blackberry, which is great. Then
Deceptive.
it goes down and it's just like, oh, this is something. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily loving it per se, but
It's a little rough. It's a little
here.
coarse.
It's here.
I don't like the sand.
I would definitely mix it. This.
Oh, this requires mixing and a half. Like this is.
I'd mix it.
You know what would probably pair with this? The Canada Dry Blackberry Ginger
That's
Ale.
exactly what I was about to say.
Like
That's exactly what I was about to say.
next time.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we just actually review the alcohol. We normally don't do a lot of cocktails here, just because.
Not yet.
Shami, like
Not yet.
But will I finish all of this before the night's over? Is the question.
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like this
Sounds
this
dangerous.
We gonna get
this
real.
has conversations with my liver that I don't feel like having at this moment.
Gonna get real silly.
Like
Real
it's one of those.
Get silly.
Yeah, it's like one of these things that keep you up in the middle of the night, and they're just like you're trying to sleep, and it's like I just think it's funny how easy there,
Whoa.
vodka. Like hold on,
You might want to watch out. People be watching this, and word might get back. Speak a word to the sparrow, it flies back to the king. Isn't that what the Bible
they
verse
expect one
say?
of us in the they expect one of us in the wreckage, brother. Anybody else got news?
I got some
Or
news.
we're still reviewing this.
Oh yeah, you want to do a big group review?
Oh, I'm gonna give this a solid 3. I think it's a very good vodka. At the same time, it's not good by itself. I think it's good, good tasting and bodied well. But I would say that I would prefer this being mixed versus then like, unless I'm having a business meeting, you know, with stockholders. Like I'm not.
But I wonder if purists would say because it needs to be mixed, or it's probably better mixed, that lowers the score a bit.
Do we know vodka purists? Are there vodka purists?
I would assume there are. Like, there's people who do this for a living. Like,
That
they
is
don't have
true.
any taste buds. Like, the back of their throat is just like
Ashen.
moss, moss covered, coarse. But yeah, I mean, they all talk like this. But
I also think that this would be best with a mixture with it. That blackberry ginger ale that you were talking about, I think is like I think that'd be a great
key.
Yeah. So I personally would give this a 2.8.
Okay.
Oh, that's great because I would give it a 3.5. So rounds out to a group rating of a 3. I like this. I'm going to keep drinking
Did
it.
you really just math that, or you
He
just
didn't
bullshitting?
math it, but he was kind of just like, poof, poof, poof. Maybe.
If you keep moving fast enough and don't nobody say nothing, then they don't question stuff.
All right.
Let's talk
all
about
right.
some.
All right. Okay.
You got-
You hang in there. That's enough. I'm going to go ahead and take this from you. Don't even worry about it, fam.
This episode
I
is
got you,
brought
champ.
to you by Better Talk. What is
Right.
it? Better Space. What is it?
Talk
Better.
space or
Send help quick. Anyway, does anybody else have news?
I got some news.
Okay, please.
My news is
We spent way too much time on that 30 seconds of whatever that was.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
news-
man.
My news is based in a callback to season 2, which
Hey.
is
Callbacks. We like those.
inclusion versus pandering.
Mm.
Fortnite has put an exhibit of Dr. Martin Luther King's when he spoke at the Million Man March, and like you can walk around and like look at all these cool things.
While
So
you're
is it-
shooting people, you can.
Or is it essentially
It's
just,
another thing
Okay.
that is there. So it's not like where we landing, boys, the Washington Monument.
Well, was that Washington? That was a...
The Lincoln Memorial.
yeah.
Memorial. Oh no. My black port. But
That's another callback. We are just
chock full
rolling.
of them. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna
You asked us a question,
I did.
and I feel like I'm going to let you go ahead and answer first, because Big Dan always got problems.
I just think it's weird to do that in a game where you're supposed to be hunting people. I think that's a bit problematic.
I just think it's weird when your fan base is little white kids. Like, you know.
No. Fortnite is all the kids.
No, when
Dan.
your fan base is normally
All the
like a bunch of
kids.
like, stop it. You know, like half of them are like, I don't think they're gonna. I think the impact of whatever they're attempting to do will be lost on that.
yes.
That it's just the
But
wrong
I don't think
platform
it's.
for
I
it.
don't think it's because whether they're white or black. I think it's because it's Fortnite. Like if you
Right.
did that in GoldenEye, it's like why do I? These are
But
proximity
no, like,
mines.
think
I don't
about it.
need
It's
to
just
get
like
to the.
them doing the TikTok dances in Fortnite at the Lincoln Memorial while like also trying to learn history. Like that's the problem now with this generation. It's like you can't get to a classroom without somebody going she. But that's probably we're making it worse. But
Yeah,
no,
it's just
like
weird.
what are you learning? And who are you? Who is it for? Who's the
Who
audience
is
for that?
it for? So
Target audience.
when I
You have
asked-
Google for that.
It's going to be okay. Because
No, like,
gonna
do you
be-
understand?
it's
Like,
gonna
why
be
are we
okay
doing
because-
this to people?
It's going to be okay.
Like Epic Games, what were y'all think? Who?
Tell them we said it.
I want to know. No. I want to know what black guy was like. I got an idea. They were like, sure. How about Million Man March? But not any Million Man March. Martin Luther King's historic Million Man March, where he had the "I Have a Dream" speech. But
Is that playing in the background?
I mean,
That's probably what the white guy said.
Right. like, but they're like on top of that,
And then Candace Owens was like, just kidding.
and then on top of that, they were just like also historic replicas of the DC landscape, because the kids flying in will understand the impact of this historic moment in history. I want to know what they were just like. You know what, Daryl? You don't often get to say a lot, so we just gonna let you have this one, and we're gonna go ahead and implement that. Dales, we good with that? Yeah. I guess Google Earth, we can do that. And Daryl's just like walking out of there. Yeah, I did something.
These emotions are brought to you by Stateside. Not Stateside, Old Republic.
Old Republic.
So
And he just goes home to his wife and he's just like, you know what I did today? I got a historical moment. implemented into a Fortnite game.
This is the bit hill that you will die on. Is that what I mean?
I want to talk.
And she's just like, baby, that's great. And he's just like, I'm going to bed happy, yeah. And now he gets to see all of this. One day he'll look back at this review and wonder why we came at you, Daryl, because you did this. You chose to do this.
His name's not Daryl. His name's not Daryl or Anthony. My question is,
I'm so mad.
I can tell. You need to walk it out, buddy.
Who did this? Who chose this?
My question is,
Oh my goodness.
is this inclusion or pandering? Because
What you mean?
No, the question is, what's going on behind this? What is the education behind this? What are they investing in to like challenge the structural things of our society that made their whole reason for the Million Man March to be, you know, and the things that we face today? Like, are they doing that behind the scenes and then being like, also this? Or is it just like, also this? Roll credits. So I think it's sketchy. Maybe it's good. Let us know how y'all feel in the comments after you like, comment, and subscribe.
Daryl.
I have news that's a lot less polarizing.
So divisive, Daniel.
I don't care. I'm on your boots, Daryl.
World Maker manga creation app. Shueisha, if that's how you pronounce it, in association with Shonen Jump Plus, is launching a very unique smartphone app developed by Japanese developer Kaya Inc. under the conceit that what drives away many from attempting to draw manga, even as a hobby, is the perceived difficulty in drawing characters and making all of the elements of a manga come together, such as backgrounds, speech bubbles, effects, and page layouts. With the forthcoming launch of the World Maker app beta, Shueisha is not only aiming to open up manga creation to anyone with a smartphone, they're also aiming to find the next undiscovered talent with a contest that will feature Romi Oishi or Shiro Usazaki illustrating the winning entry created with this one-of-a-kind app. The World Maker app, even in its beta version, will allow anyone with a smartphone or tablet the ability to create their own fully fledged short manga by breaking down the process into easy to understand steps and using preset templates for each step. What's even great about, well, not greater, but like the winner will get 300,000 yen, which
I was about to be like, yeah, that's about what they're paying manga artists. Yep.
Well, 300,000 yen only like equates to like $2,000, like 2,500, maybe 27. So
that's before taxes.
But yeah, so that's a thing. Also, Pokemon TV. Nintendo has officially announced the launch of the dedicated Pokemon TV Switch app in the US eShop. Pokemon TV will serve as the hub for Pokemon media on the Switch, such as hundreds of episodes of the Pokemon anime series, as well as animated specials, along with dedicated programming such as Pokemon trading card game matches, video game competitions, along with training tips too. The junior category includes sing-along songs, nursery rhymes, and more age-appropriate Pokemon content for the youngest Pokemon fans as well, with new content and programming added on a periodic basis.
Okay.
And that's my news. So
they have been talking about that for a little bit. Little bit.
Nice. All right. Well, it's time to get to the review portion.
Whip
All right.
Say that 5 times. See what we get.
Go ahead. Just go.
You see what I did?
Just go.
Well, as you can see, we're going to be reviewing Candyman. Because
that's funny.
Yep, I put it on Josh and I was talking. Anyway, it's Candyman.
I thought it was because it's like Josh kind of looks like Tony Todd when he was younger. And I was like, maybe. I was like, that's kind of messed up, man. Not that Tony Todd's a very handsome man, but please, I'm sorry. We'll get it in post.
Nope, that one's in there. I'm gonna go first on this one. Normally I wait.
Okay,
but I will. I'll
Level
go
one
first on this
special.
one. I think this requires just a standard Saiyan level. Base. I don't think I need to go crazy on this because for a few reasons. I will preface this by saying this is Jordan Peele's vision for Candyman. So, if you and also let's make sure we identify the masterful directing
Of Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta. Because one, on top of that, she made history being the first black woman to make over $20 million in her directing this
Debut?
movie, box office.
Wow.
So, shout outs to you. But between Nia and Jordan, they had a specific vision for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it got carried out well through the first and second act.
Mm-hmm.
Third act, take it how you want it. It got very muddled very quickly with the ending. I will say,
What do you mean by that? It got muddled by at the end.
I'll backtrack to that in a second. But the cast, I believe, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Every person had a specific purpose, even if the caucasity was casted for the sake of fodder, right? If you do the and everyone's going to do the spiritual comparison of the first Candyman to this spiritual sequel. Helen was very much the main character of Candyman 1992. However, they focused rather on Candyman as the character and the metaphor and allegory that he actually stood for, or represented in this movie in the 2021 version. So, white people were on the back end, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because for over going into this, it was only really the white folks that was really saying it. There was one sequence that they showed of like black folks, one black person saying Candyman 5 times, technically 2 if you count the ending, and after that, the story is more wrapped around the hero and villain that Candyman is simultaneously, right? If anyone stayed for the post-credit sequence, you will see that the references were made to alluding to Emmett Till, which was, obviously when people are involved that know our history doing this, because the first Candyman was directed by a white person and, the focus was different. This focused very much on the injustices of kind of championing the heroes who have been lynched in our history, or the storytellers or the characters who have been lynched in our history, to the point where you kind of don't know if you should cheer for Candyman or kind of just embrace the fact that he exists as kind of a savior on your behalf, right? Because you only the dumb, and I say this as politely as I can, only the dumb would invoke Candyman by chanting his name. The foolish, I would say.
I think that's going to lean into what observations that I made. Also, my housemate Tom Delphi, who's the CEO of Nerdtino Expo, will get into
right.
that.
But
yeah,
the legend of Candyman was literally supposed to be an our story kind of thing, right? Like it's almost like if you want to know about Candyman, you come to the hood to find out about Candyman. You won't learn about Candyman,
right?
Which is what Helen did.
And if you don't handle it correctly, you become a victim, which I think is the broad story of this, is that if you come in, take our stories, don't handle our stories well, or misrepresent those stories, or misidentify those stories, then you're at the wrath of the culture. That's kind of what I took away from it, because the critic and all that stuff.
Would Candyman be invoked over TikTok dances?
I mean, first of all, it's the place. When you're willingly ignorant, right, and you say Candyman's name, that's just a thing.
Willingly ignorant on TikTok? No.
Right.
No.
So, I mean,
love black content creators on TikTok. They don't randomly shadow ban them and take down their... go ahead, I'm sorry.
See.
I'm as heavy-handed as this movie.
So, I mean, there was a lot of in-your-face concepts, and back to my point about the third act, it didn't really solidify for me, what Candyman was about, right? Before he was a guardian of, the gentrification. of like areas and coming into the hood, leaving us in the hood, and then taking us out of the hood when you feel it's profitable. Which
Is that what you felt the first one was about?
that was definitely the first one.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, until you were like also on top of the fact, like I kind of care about what Helen does, but that's that's base level. But technically, the first Candyman was about gentrification. This one was kind of about that, but then it stopped being about that, and then it was very much about self and knowing the importance of where you came from. On top of the American dream, like they literally say it in your face at one point in the movie where they were like, artists are kind of like gentrifying the hood, like the proverbial artists just we take
Starving
the college
artists.
kids, the bohemian, if you will, and put them in the hood so that way they can capture the life essence of the hood,
So they can be inspired.
and then that like redirects the attention of the rich and wealthy to come back and be like, oh, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel like I'm home. I identify with this.
Once you start seeing OCF coffee, I don't know if I can say
Woo!
that. OCF coffee houses, baby.
So
Might have to get that in post.
nope. We said what we said. But that's kind of where Candyman goes, and then at the end it just devolves into this mess of, oh, we need Candyman back. Oh, we need Candyman back. Apparently Candyman was a secret for 30 plus years. Like, and you're like, huh? You're just like, what? Jordan, what are you talking about? Like, so
Was he our secret?
was he our secret? I don't know. Maybe he was that hood secret, right? Because technically, the brother of, I forget the characters' names.
Brianna.
Brianna's brother comes in and tells the story wrong.
Do you guys want to hear a story? Yeah.
Yeah, he tells the story wrong because of the folklore just being passed around incorrectly. So I feel like sometimes you got hood legends, and that's it. If you're not in that circle, you can't tell the story.
Yeah, local folklore.
So, out of all of that, I will give this a 3.5. I feel like this movie requires a little bit more like in-depth discussion because of all that it was trying to identify, but it's a 3.5 at the end of the day. If you want to go see it, I think it's a very to the point a spiritual sequel, knowing that two other movies after the Candyman 1992.
Two other movies happened.
Right. And they all were like decreasingly worse. Increasingly worse would be the word. Increasingly worse as time goes on.
Increasingly.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So, yep, that's me.
Josh?
So I watched the first Candyman. And what I thought was very interesting is that I know it said that gentrification was a thing, but I feel like they lightly glaze over the gentrification part. I feel like it's a point where it's like, oh, our houses are just like those houses, just with, a facelift or whatever. But that's kind of what it said and where it dies. And to me, it was more about the trauma of the tortured spirit Candyman, because that's where you first learn his story and what happened to him and everything. And so because he got murdered there, that is why that's where the haunting is. That's how I felt about the first one. I still thought it was a good movie, but people said that it was like, oh, it's definitely about gentrification. I'm like, okay, I mean, sure, if you were in on that like masterclass, like I guess that you can make those connections. I think you can make those connections. I just don't think it was as explicitly stated that I could pick up on. Maybe I'm just not that highbrow. But I think that
nobody wants to accuse you of that. I don't think no one accused you of that, so I won't say
no,
that. I don't think that's that. I think so. Some things you can just take at face value, and then that'd be it.
Yeah.
So if you do want to do the deep thinking, then yeah. But no one's accusing you of that.
I wasn't. I very rarely go into the artistic highbrow explanations and reasoning of a piece of media. And yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it there.
Fair enough.
this Candyman. Candyman.
You gotta stop saying it like that.
Candyman.
2021.
You're up to 4, so watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth. I thought this was actually really well done. It was a horror movie that was it was smart. And it was smart in a way that I think only Jordan Peele and who was the director?
Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta could do. There were even parts where I think he alluded to his next movie coming up.
Nope.
Yeah. And I was like, it was, and what's funny is like, cause he has done that before with Get Out, right? That the ending of the movie, like he's choking out this white lady. We see cop lights and it's like, there were so many moments in the theater that were like, oh no, like don't, and then like the character, like this was a modern horror movie because now we have gone past the times of people just being stupid, tripping over rocks, tripping over nothing, right? Like these were smart characters, even to the point where when the group of white girls do it in the bathroom,
there was one other POC in that group,
and she was like, "Nah,
nope.
Not today." Like,
literally, not today.
Literally, like, nope, not today.
I got y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a blessed night.
Y'all have a blessed night. I also thought it was interesting that only Caucasian people were the ones, let's say, brave enough to.
It's brazen enough.
Dumb enough.
Wait your
No,
turn.
we can't say that. Get that in post.
To invoke he who is
To invoke bull.
the bull, because I am at 4. So
What we won't do.
right, this would be a really interesting episode.
Watch your mouth.
But I thought that was very interesting, and I think if you wanted to, you could dig deeper into that aspect that only the white people were brave enough, stupid enough,
Or
to
children.
do so.
Because there were two black girls that did.
There were,
No.
but and this is what I said actually to Daniel. They were actually they were at a time pre all of the media and whatnot.
That's true.
They were the beginning. They were the reason why we now know.
Don't do
that.
Mhm.
That's 5 to 10. So I thought that was good. The acting was very good. I think the story was. I think it tied up very nicely. I think it was definitely a great second and final.
Thank you for saying
movie.
that, 'cause I forgot to mention that, but yes.
to do this with the franchise, and I think it told its story well enough that I walked away like, that was cool. I'd watch it again, if it was like on TV or something like that. Yeah, if it showed up on TNT, I'd definitely watch it. I would give this movie of He Who Shall Not Be Named. I would give this I'd give it a 4. I give it a solid 4.
Solid one. Sterling.
I have notes because I realize I like to talk about things, and I'm like, I'm going to bring this up on the podcast, and then I don't. So the things I liked about this movie, I really liked the pacing. I think it was a beautiful movie. It was super trippy. It was a horror movie post 2016. So I also watched Candyman 1992, and then like 2 hours later watched 2021.
That's one.
So
I just want you to say it.
Thank you. No, they changed the rules anyway. Case in point where we cussed. But anyway, so seeing the difference of like how older movies built suspense, resolved suspense, and how they made scary things.
Sorry.
And then go ahead. Yeah,
They did change the rules. I just realized what
Yes,
you're talking
yep.
about. Yeah.
We cussed out here.
Yeah.
God bless. But anyway, so seeing how that structure of what horror was back then. And also 1992 was great movie. I was watching that. I was like, wow, I was the punk cousin that was like, oh, y'all watching Candyman? All right, I'm gonna run to the store. I'm gonna be back. Oh, y'all watching what? Sorry. Oh, y'all watching what? I'm out. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a blessed night. But, so I never watched it when I was a kid. So I was happy to see it now with adult eyes with like, oh, I know storytelling. I know how this works. So 1992 was great movie. When seeing, so I'm talking about 2021. Things I enjoyed about this movie. Love the acting. I'm a sucker for fan service. So how everything tied in. And like when you saw Anthony's mom, she looks exactly the same.
Shout out to Vanessa Williams out here killing the game.
Exactly the same.
Drink water.
Yeah.
It does not crack.
So that was really cool to see how it tied in. Things I liked. I mean, it was great seeing Tiana. Every time I was like, "Oh, Monica." That's not Monica Rambeau.
That's Tiana.
But
and we don't call her Tay Tay out here. Watch your mouth.
It was great seeing her. And they also did this thing where they almost did like a dual protagonist between Anthony and Brianna. We got more of her backstory. But then I felt, and this flips into a weaker point that like I felt like they gave her enough of the backstory until it was like, okay, now you get why she's here, and there you go. And like,
oh yeah, they didn't set her up as well as enough as I thought they would have.
I was
only
like,
because the focus was really on
Anthony.
Yeah,
I felt like we didn't need to see her backstory. It was fine, but like I don't think it was needed to tell the story.
So I'll counterpoint
Yeah.
really quick.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I think we needed to see her story is the reason why every other Candyman has ever existed, right? There's always been someone to tie to their existence. Brianna ties to his current incarnation of Candyman.
Yeah.
Which is why this one is different, because it's a black woman now tying to his existence, versus Helen or
Helen's descendants.
or
ancestor, I guess.
right? Or when Tony Todd's version,
Candyman Prime.
Candyman Prime. Thank you.
Well, Bull Prime. I'm just gonna fucking Candyman Prime. That's what I will be referring to him as, because I have a lot of notes on that.
Yeah,
Todd.
Yes.
Todd is C Prime.
Yes, C Prime. Thank you.
C Prime. So, to not linger on that,
Yes.
there's always been a woman tied to it, because technically it even alluded to the fact that a Candyman Emmett Till would have been considered personified as a Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
So he has
Who was Bull on the bike?
Emmett Till.
Oh, really?
He was on his bike when they got him.
Oh.
No. Emmett Till was actually walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
At a
Waiting.
store or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
He's on his way to like the bus or something like that.
I'm sorry, we are interrupting your
Yeah.
review. Sorry.
It's okay.
Proceed. And stop being so nice. Say I'm talking.
Never.
Just interrupt us. Interrupting you. That's all you gotta do, man.
You finished or you done?
Savage. I like that. Nope, wrong camera.
So no, we like that camera. Points I enjoyed. Great acting. I really like the pacing. In fact, I like the pacing so much that when we hit the climax of the story, I'm like, oh, I think we got like 25, 30 more minutes. Oh, the mystery is going to be solved. And it's like, nope, that's the end of the movie. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. Did you guys feel like it ended abruptly, or did you feel like it wrapped up like, well?
I think it wrapped up at the point it should have as a horror movie.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, you see the big thing.
Yeah, it gives you the climax of him addressing police injustice, and at the same time, like him also addressing, like, I'm Candyman, but I'm different.
Oh yeah,
because she called his name and technically should have been a victim, but they went into further explanation as to why she wouldn't have been.
Yes.
So
Wait, what was that?
When Anthony was giving his monologue as Candyman, where he said, "Oh, they say I'll spill innocent blood, and they say you're innocent, but you're not." So he was referring to the cops.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
True.
So I'm sorry. Things I enjoyed. But tying into that, I really like. There is no question of what one of the big messages in this movie is, which is like gentrification bad, police brutality bad, manipulation of like the where you fall in the social hierarchy to be bad. Like, and I love that heavy-handedness, because I think there's a responsibility, not to all artists, but it's one part of being an artist that we comment on culture. You know, we comment on what's going on in the world, and we tell the stories because otherwise it'll be always be the people in power who tell the stories. And then we get like, you know, Christopher Columbus came over and had dinner with some folks, and it was wonderful. And so,
Swell.
it's the duty
He said
of,
he was out here messing with sheep. Listen, this is a different story.
we
your,
not.
your wool look nice.
All
I
right,
like
all right,
that.
all right. Looking kind of lonely. Anyway, I really like that there was very clear. Can't possibly miss this
You
message.
can't miss it, yeah.
But with them, and I'm going to keep moving here, but with them doing kind of the dual protagonist thing of like, okay, here's Anthony's story and here's also Brianna's story. It gives more backstory to like, it's not, oh, this, it doesn't make Brianna an accessory to the story. It's like, oh, this is also her story too. If they finished it out, but because they didn't, now they kind of did that. And I was like, I don't know. But points that I was a little, like things I would definitely want to talk with you guys about. Weak points, I was like, 1992 and 2021 kind of fit together like puzzle pieces that should fit but don't quite, because once they started the whole concept of like, oh, Candyman was also like a kind of like an Avenger, a spirit of vengeance.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just watched 1992. He's completely motivated by his own goals or whatever. So I live with my housemate, Tom Delphi. We were talking about things and he was like, no, there's a bunch of Candymen, like bunch of apparitions running around all at the same time. And thus the motivations of each Candyman. We can break this down. I'll go live and like really go into my notes, but things I definitely wanted to talk to you guys about. The character Burke, the guy in the laundromat who becomes the cultist, right? I think there is also a message here. There's also a message about the art world that's like very heavy-handed.
Strong, heavy-handed.
There's some type of something here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I don't really quite see it. So this guy becomes a cultist, basically. And do you know when he was like, I knew the baby would return, that means he would just be hanging around for 22 years.
Well, I mean, so really quick, they do set up the fact that he does not leave the neighborhood. Like
Yes, it's true.
He's a part of the last of what Cabrini Green is.
Yes.
Right. So he's hung obviously on the tail of Candyman and the supernatural portion of it, and even the dogma of it, to the point where he's like, we always got to have one.
Yeah. And he brings up the point that like, why do you think they keep dying in this spot? Not just C Prime, not just the weird old man that we got in this one who also died at Cabrini Green. He's like, we keep dying in this spot. We need Candyman. So I didn't know. There's something there, but like, what do you think that is? What is that about?
I was gonna say what would have been a bit more interesting is if he was the kid from the first one that hung around.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to pop up.
You mean Jack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been cool. And I only just realized that because you said that he like hung around for 20 years. And it's like, oh, that'd be a really easy tie-in.
Yeah.
But
also the reason why Helen ended up being tortured was because she ruined it for Jack. So
Yeah.
Jack no longer believed anymore. So that was it. Like, you take him out of the story after that point because he didn't believe until the end of
1992.
right, but like
Which
he still
could
believes.
have, right? But
Yeah.
he could have hung on to it. But he also believed that he killed Candyman. So like, yeah, I mean, what do you do?
Got him.
Once you see him in the fire.
Right.
About the cultist, I didn't really think much of it. It was an interesting thing to do. In my mind, I was like, huh.
It was a weird driving point at first.
He knows the story. That's cool. Oh wow, now this went left.
He's going for it.
This went left real fast.
I was baptized in this church.
Right, yeah.
That performance also absolutely just
Shout outs to Philly, man.
chilling. Yeah,
He from Philly.
I didn't know that. You a
Yeah.
Philly boy?
Philly boy.
Case
He
in
was
point,
in
Philly
Concrete
boy.
Cowboy. Just kidding.
No. Anyway,
But the interpretation I get is like, is this a point of like, what is it going to take for them to stop killing us, right? Is it going to take us to go way beyond the brink of madness? And we're not encouraging any type of anything. We're analyzing a movie.
you asking the hard questions out here.
Yeah, that's it. I got a bunch I could say about it as far as continuity things, but I don't want to nitpick at it. The fact that like people only said Candyman's name because they believed, oh, that would never be me. They don't believe in the thing, that the consequences of this thing.
A willing
that
ignorance.
that they hear about, but it doesn't happen to them. So it's that applies to so many parts of our society of like people just not believing until it happens to them.
But I also think it was the curiosity of like this might be far left, but it's like, I wonder what it's like to be with a black guy.
But it's yes and no, right? It's the mishandling of
I
our
wonder
culture.
what it's like to be in the hood. I wonder what it's like to be like,
right, like it's the mishandling of our culture. So that's where the breakdown starts happening, because the guy came at him for the way that he was addressing police brutality and, you know, his art being very focused on the black experience, and he was like, it's not nuanced enough. Because that's the way that they have to get through it. We can't give them the hard truth anymore. They can't look at it the same way anymore. You can't show them a picture of Emmett Till. It has to be nuanced. And so when it's nuanced, then it's, oh, it's cute, it's cool, it's in. So then I can say Candyman's name, because if I say it, then I'm a part of the, you know, I'm a part of the experience a little bit.
they were the non-comical and like the other end of the spectrum of not Ed Helm in the Paper Tigers.
What, the art people?
I think all of the white people.
They were the less funny side of appropriation, is what you're saying.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I have lots more notes, but I know we got to get moving. I'm going to definitely give this a 4. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. If you don't like fight real hard about the continuity, because I was like, and I'm like, am I like hypercriticizing?
actually,
Am I just being hypercritical of black art? Let me just take 2 steps back and like enjoy this movie, because it's a great movie. That elevator.
That's an episode in of itself.
the elevator was
The
dope.
elevator, I was like, who makes an elevator like this?
The visuals of this movie were top tier.
Yes,
Dope.
phenomenal.
The mirror tricks, all of that stuff was amazing.
But on the point of continuity, like when we look at the
No, just give it the score.
I gave it the score of 4. But no, last thing, I promise, last thing. It's only going to be like, give me 45 seconds. The problem with the continuity, right? So at the end of 1992, and like looking at it as Candyman being a spirit of vengeance or whatever that passes on, but then Helen became that. So, but the problem is, like, okay, if any spirit of vengeance that died in the wrong way, you just say their name 5 times and they could just pop up. Like, could we just say people's names 5 times and they
So
pop
here's
up?
why Helen had the power.
Uh-huh.
Helen was connected to him.
Right. That was
they
his.
were. It was always you, Helen. That was his thing. That was his crux.
He saw her and was like, I like that.
No.
And so
He
now-
saw her as a direct connection to the love he lost that he died for.
He liked that.
Not
You
just
remind me of.
Stop. We're not. Anyway, my problem is I can't just sit here and say like Kent, and then Kent pops up.
Oh my God,
Bro.
My victim.
Hey Kent. Hey,
hi
what's up?
Kent. For those who don't know and now can see, Kent is here.
Are you K Prime?
Do I get like a tag name? Do I get like a call name? Or am I
You
just-
can.
It's not open.
I mean,
I got
you are the DM.
You are the kaiju field expert. Okay, you are John Jagger instead of Chet Jagger.
John Jagger.
John Jagger.
God, that's gonna stick. That's gonna stick with the wrong people.
John Jaguar.
But thank you for coming out, man. For being the first guest on BNR. Drink, fellas.
you.
Drink.
Cheers.
Salud.
John Jaguar.
Kampai. So
Kent
Kent.
Kaiju Roberts. honey.
Oh, let's go.
Like that too much. Yeah.
He liked that way too much.
So Kent, what's the next thing we're reviewing, buddy?
The next thing up is The Green Knight by David Lowery was the director on
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Starring Dev Patel.
Dev
Joel Edgerton.
Patel.
Dev Patel, yeah. Pretty good. All right, stop at it. Come on.
Since you're
You are
here,
no knight.
right.
Okay, we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
All right.
I'm not.
Kent, you are a guest. Would you like to go first?
Ooh.
Tell us what you think about this artistic piece of art.
So,
Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Before you get into that, you just took 2 healthy swigs of this blackberry.
I had a long day.
What are you thinking? What are you feeling? We have a guest chalice.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
will.
yeah. This is where we put our ratings.
Oh,
Oh, you ain't never watched BNR, bro? You ain't watched BNR?
Some lunch breaks, which are like 20 minutes long, so I gotta scrub a lot. They're
That's why we have timestamps.
And that's why Ken Kaiju will never be back here again.
The last we saw of John Jagadis.
Oh gosh.
my family's watching now.
So
Sorry.
how do you feel about the drink?
Oh, it's good. It's funny. I'm not normally a vodka guy, but I do like gin a lot, and gin it's
Very-
almost the same thing as a juniper. It's like juniper-y vodka. So
Yeah.
like they got that berry flavor, but it's also supposed to be very smooth and low burn. And so it's like achieving a similar thing in a different way because it's a blackberry vodka. I like it. I could drink this.
How many?
Like even as a not a vodka guy, I could drink this.
How many
Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Three. I'd say three.
3.
3 out of 5. Yeah.
Cool.
And again, this is me being real nice to vodka because that's not people who know me know that's not usually my thing. Like, I'm a whiskey dude.
Cool. All right. Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
And welcome to Shotzi.
Pew pew.
So,
Pew pew.
the breakdown,
Pew.
we have our special guest, Kent Kaiju Roberts, in the shot seat for today.
Jonah Jackal.
So are you all right? The breakdown of shot seat. We asked
I've been
whomever.
alright since you met me.
Wait, me or everybody?
Yeah.
So the breakdown of shot seat. The person in the shot seat is asked a question. They get the question right. They don't have to take a shot, but you get it wrong, you gotta take a shot.
So is the shot a punishment or a reward? 'Cause
That-
I'm getting mixed
That's all
signals
on how
here.
you how you perceive it.
That's a perspective thing. All right, good.
Are you ready for your first question? Now there is whatever you say. I'm going to ask: is that your final answer? Because we've had a couple instances where some people got some one-ups by
Hey,
accident.
Watch your mouth.
So first question: are you
Respectfully, dog.
Yeah.
ready? Jay Hawk, take it away.
I've had a long day. I'm ready.
All right. What does Guts call himself in Volume 1 of The Berserker? Is it A, the Berserker? Is it B, the Dragon Slayer? Is it C, the Black Swordsman? Is it D, the Last Warrior?
I know he's referred to as the Black Swordsman. I'm trying to remember if he referred to himself as the Black Swordsman.
It's aha.
Was it the Black Swordsman?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Instead, I've had a long day.
Celebratory shot. Let's go. Now back to our. What is it?
I'll just
Programmer.
clarify. That was a reward, not a punishment.
A.
It's not a
Ayo.
bug, it's a feature.
Back
Now
to
back
y'all.
to our regular scheduled program.
There it is.
So, the Green Knight, based on the Arthurian legend of Sir Gawain or Sir Gawain, or there's like 3 pronunciations in this movie alone,
It's true.
and the Green Knight. So, A24 films, which this was one, have a certain reputation for that sort of like
Indie look.
like pretentious is the word I was looking for. Like,
No,
wait,
he's
One and the
not-
same.
I'm not done.
He's not wrong.
He's not. One
I
of the
say
same.
they have a reputation for that, and I really like this movie. I didn't feel talked down to. I'm not even like an Arthurian lore buff, like basic like middle school kind of thing.
Scooch up a little bit.
Yeah, the kind of stuff that they make you read in school. But like I felt let in on the level that this was at. It didn't feel too obscure for me. I feel like I was able to access what the creators of this film were trying to say without having to like rack my brain too hard. Like
Yeah.
It wasn't overly dense
Hmm.
for the sake of being artsy fartsy, but at the same time it was gorgeous.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
cinematography was beautiful.
Very good.
It's like you could pause. You could take a screenshot of any frame in that movie, and that's your desktop background.
It's
Like,
true. Yo, when he was walking up the hill and then like it kept like
Rotating.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
that
Like
was
I
really cool.
wanted to puke beautifully.
I thought
rainbows.
the one shot of I think he was about to go to the party, and like you see the archway of the church as he's like walking through it. I was like, oh, this is definitely an indie film, and I like that shot though.
Yeah.
That was like dope.
My favorite one was probably in the future when he sees his future self and he's sitting there like waiting for them to come through the doors with his family, and I was like,
Darkest
oh,
Timeline.
I was like,
Yo.
that was my photo right there. I was like, I'm here for it.
I just love that. I love his performance specifically in the future thing, because if you look, he never smiled again.
No.
Never smiled again. Even when he was waiting, his face was just like flat. It was really, very, very well done. But go ahead, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, you're still talking.
Oh, so like as yeah, caught me drinking here.
That's what happens.
Welcome to the
there's so much
Blerd
to
Bar.
say. It was the themes of it were I thought fascinating because like it was kind of I feel like what the film was trying to say was almost contrary to what you think of when you think of like Arthurian tales and knights and chivalry. It almost the whole film almost felt like it was questioning chivalry, and in the sense that like who is this for? When you
I was
when
about
you
to say
act a certain,
the motives.
yes, the film, like the theme of the film, felt to me as a condemnation of performativity because, like
that ties in really well with Candyman.
everything that Gawain went through, everything that he did, was for reputation, so he could have a story to tell King Arthur at the table, for glory, for honor. But like his girlfriend Essel is like, why is greatness so much better than goodness? You know, his ultimate victory at the end of the film was when he took off his sash and he faced his fate, whether he would walk away from it or not, probably not. And like, if that happens, if he dies, he doesn't get to bask in the glory. It's done, but he still was brave.
Yeah,
It was the quiet deed that you can't reap the benefits of, rather than running home and saying you survived and getting the sword and the crown and the glory. But it was like, maybe it is better to be good than great. And I that's what the movie said to me. And that resonated, I think.
What we giving it? What you feeling?
Are we out of 5 or out of 10?
Out of 5.
He has never watched the BNR, so that's why he didn't know. It was
That is-
5.
All right, fair.
No, he be scrubbing. He be
I'll be
scrubbing.
scrubbing. All right.
Time stamp.
There was a joke there, but it's okay.
4.25.
Okay.
All right.
We'll make
As
it-
the editor,
Right.
I'm sick of you.
0.35, 6, 7.
as the person who got to put those up there.
I'm sick of you already.
What you got, Jayhawk? How you feeling, man?
So
And welcome back to a Shotzi.
shot.
And now for our second question, which is of very easy difficulty. Kent, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Of the Game Boy series of handheld games, name 5 devices found in the Game Boy series of handheld games.
Oh, handheld consoles, right?
Yes.
So, all right. So you have the original Game Boy,
1,
the Game Boy Color,
2,
the Game Boy Advance,
3.
the Game Boy SD. DS? DS. Dual screen.
Okay, 4.
Does that count?
No.
It does not. A
No.
Game Boy series. I go, yeah. The Nintendo DS specifically deviates because
Didn't have the name Game Boy on it.
No,
Oh,
it did not.
I already
Nintendo
messed this
DS
up.
because it was Game Boy and they didn't want it to be gendered. You know, not a bad move.
Poof.
Go ahead. You can go ahead. Go ahead. What you got? I give it to you.
Looks like you got a shot, bro.
Did I say Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, you gotta take
Yeah?
that shot.
Yeah. Okay, so to clarify, this one's a punishment.
I don't like this one.
All right.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
I also very much enjoyed the cinematography. We did watch it together, and so there were points that were hilarious, like the Titans that were in there.
They were giants, but yeah.
And then the joke of like, what if they were all T-Pain Titans? Just
Because it was auto-tuned. Because the wolf was on auto-tune. Oh, well, not the wolf. The fox was on auto-tune. And then they responded.
yeah,
in,
like the
specific
fox starts
tones.
howling, and then they start like, ooh, and it's like, Sade.
Yeah.
Like, I really
Shout
hope
out to
that,
TJ.
I hope this makes it big enough because I would love
God.
to see that reshot as just a bunch of T-Pain.
we
Titans.
could always do the edits.
We can. Also, I would like to point out as a callback, because I'm the master of callbacks. Remember when Josh was like, "Oh, I ain't seeing Mugen Train with y'all because I want to watch it and take notes." And then we were watching it and laughing. And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is why Josh doesn't watch movies with."
So I've actually seen 2 movies with Josh, I think, since past that comment. No, 3, because we watched Black Widow together. Since that, I understand why Josh doesn't want to watch movies with us when we have to review them, because we may divert his attention. At the same time, I don't feel like the movies we watched together, that was necessary.
Okay.
Like, I didn't like, did you ever feel like I took poignant moments away from you with commentary?
With Black Widow.
Watch your mouth. Slowly. Whatever you was about to
Remember
say.
who house you in?
With Black Widow, not exactly, no. The Green Knight, I felt like I wanted to rewatch
Okay.
because
No, because I was going to ask, I felt like that was maybe the case.
it was.
I saw it on your face at
It's
one
very
point.
like highfalutin, kind of artsy. Like I know,
It's an
like
A24 film.
yeah. Like it is like, oh, I should pay attention because I feel like I might miss something. We watched Candyman together.
Yeah.
And that was fine. I mean, we were also in the experience of of being where we were.
Yo, tell us about it. Tell us about it. I wanna
You know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
We're at the Pearl on Broad Street.
No,
Nah, 40th Street.
Jesus,
We know better than to do that to ourselves.
no.
But this was only like a step better. Slightly, a half step better.
But still, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. I still think like Phoenixville is the move. But you know,
next time we going out. Like,
we going out.
we going to Delaware.
No.
Yeah.
I watched it on Vudu. Like,
Hey.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying for the Candyman in theaters, we won't go back to where we came from for that one. There was like iPhone lights going off, like flashlights. I was just like,
Okay, we're devolving.
yeah, we evolved strongly.
it's just you're giving me Riverview flashbacks.
Oh, there is no more Riverview, so
I
that's
know. It
where
exists.
where do they go when the Riverview was closed?
It exists now only in my memory.
Yeah,
So
The Green Knight.
we can cut that part.
to sum all of that up,
We'll get
It's
it
not
post,
that-
right? Is that it?
Yeah.
he watches.
Yeah.
He watches.
He
I
knows
watch
things.
it.
It's not that I do enjoy watching movies with y'all, but I would rather.
There's a
not.
but.
I would rather not at certain times. So The Green Knight, I thought it was very artsy. I thought it was very well done. I watched a video explaining the story.
Yeah, he hadn't done this review. You put your hand down.
Explaining the story before actually going into it was actually very not me. I probably would have normally I would have watched that video after watching the show, just to see how much I.
But didn't you like
in
famously
parallel.
say you don't like the explanation, like the big deep dive before
Yeah.
you go into a thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
he does watch.
I watched the show.
Yeah, I'll be time stamping. I'll be time stamping.
So and
that was just to prove to Dad I watched the show.
right.
Got him.
So it was. I thought it was interesting. I didn't think that it. I didn't think it needed much explanation. I think the ending of it was very indie. Kind of like I reviewed a movie about a black boy who goes to jail and he has to tell stories. I'll put a thing like right here. That's what I'm talking about.
Timestamp.
When it comes back to memory.
No,
It's right there. But it reminded me of that. Anywho, this movie I thought, to your point, Kent, kind of speaks to why. Why are you doing this? For why? Because also, and it's not just Gawain, his mom. For why? Because here's another thing. I feel like Arthurian canon is very loose.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah,
folk-
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not
There's
like
almost like no written.
It ain't the
text of
MCU.
that.
Like-
yeah, it's not the MCU.
You
So
know, you're not gonna try to follow continuity.
yeah,
of
exactly,
Arthurian
exactly.
legend.
So like while we were
Gawain
watching,
dies, like 3 different ways.
Exactly.
In, like Arthurian legend. Yeah.
so while we were watching it, and like I had watched the video, like you guys were like oh, but that's so and so, and that's this and that, and that's that and that, and I'm like, but it means nothing.
It
They
doesn't.
just take the names and throw them in a new scenario.
So it is the MCU.
It's more like the Godzilla canon. It's like, yeah, the Hasty series has really nothing to do with the Showa series. Except for
but
the
wait,
movie.
Matthew Broderick.
so
All right, Squirtle Gang, like I'll slit your throat with those.
That got dark. Please continue,
did.
John.
but,
Darkest sketch.
so
Darkest sketch.
So I enjoyed the acting of everything. I enjoyed the story as it unfolded. How he got the sash, which was a bit different than the actual canon.
It was a bit different.
A bit different. It was interesting.
She forgot about that.
The actual the sash part where he was not a knight. That was
Bit different.
Disrespect. But you know what? I think we all been there, Gwen. It's all right, man. We all got to make a hasty exit sometimes. Please continue.
But I don't know if he.
You said we all?
Yeah, that cut close to the quick. I think. Like, no, I'm with Sterling on that one.
No.
I didn't know.
We're safe here.
I
Feel
didn't
safe.
understand what was going on. I thought that it was just like over the clothes, and he was in his own hand, and then she was like,
We are talking
You right.
about so many
Anywho.
different things.
"Anywho, that was just a wild scene."
You know, it's funny. The Blerd Bar's changed ratings since like
Since the beginning of this episode, it's
Yeah.
So it was just all it was all very cool, and it would have, had I not already, it would have prompted me to like look into it more, knowing that crap, this doesn't really mean anything because Arthurians are a bunch of what ifs, right? they're a bunch of what ifs, and it's like, take what you want and
Leave the rest.
Yeah.
Shopping cart method, baby.
Exactly.
Take what you like.
Shout out to you, Rashid, if you ever.
What are you giving this movie? Man?
So I would give this movie. I would also give it a. I give it a 4 out of 5. I give it a 4 out of
Nice.
5. I enjoyed it a lot. I would watch it again. It like beautifully shot. It was all great.
Great film. You got a bunch to say? Because I ain't got a bunch to say.
Go ahead then.
And welcome to the final shots.
Pow 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 pow
Now
pow.
to,
They shot cornbread.
he's a Candyman now.
shot him in the face.
For the final question, now the man of House Rodan will ask the kaiju expert the question.
I
Big
rent.
Dan.
I don't own. Yes. Question for you, Sir Kent Kaiju. Which of the Infinity Stones appears first in the MCU? Now, do you need the names?
No, I think I can do
He
this.
wasn't gonna do no multiple
First in the
questions.
MCU. That would probably be the Space Stone in the form of the Tesseract in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Nice.
Is
I
your
respect that.
Final
No,
answer?
that's the final answer.
That's my final
That's-
answer. Yeah.
That's
He
nice.
also reacted before. This is again. a
No, I
reward.
did. Yeah,
Celebratory shot. Let's go.
because I could have asked my compatriots here, and I don't think they would have. They wouldn't have hit that one the same way.
Oh yeah, really?
Nope.
But
I would've-
Nah.
I mean, because I guess you could interpret it which stone first appeared as a stone, which
Yeah.
would be the Aether technically in Thor: The Dark World was first referred
That's what
to
I'm
as a
saying.
stone in the end credit scene when they give it
Yeah.
to the Collector and they straight up say it's an Infinity Stone.
Yeah. I
But
would
the Tesseract appeared first.
But it wasn't purple because the bull was purple. Right?
What?
And back to our regular.
There's nothing was purple in that equation.
Nah, the bull.
Very straightforward. This movie was beautiful. Shout out to Erin Kellyman. Glad she getting work, man.
She's been working. She's been working
Yeah.
out here.
She getting work. Star Wars and
Yeah,
Marvel,
so
and
yeah.
she out here. It was. I followed the story. It was very straightforward. It was great to see. And And then the only thing that like twisted me up was the ending, and I was like, did he live or did he die? And then Dan's like, dude, he totally lived. And I'm like, but did he live or did he die? And I talked to Tom Delphi, and he's like, nah, he lived. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Dan was like, oh, what?
But like,
That's a really interesting thing because I was looking into this afterwards, and apparently they shot a more explicit ending where
He wasn't a knight?
he wasn't much in the more explicit ending because like it was
Right.
heavily implied. The director was basically like, yeah, we shot the choppy part,
Mm-hmm.
which implies the original vision was for Gwen to like explicitly die. But that seems really contrary to the post-credit scene we got with the
Exactly.
little girl on the crown, implying that
Right.
not
He
only
did
he
have his
live,
daughter.
but he made different decisions.
Yeah.
You know, maybe learn something.
So,
It's an interesting thing because like maybe he lived, maybe he didn't. It's really ambiguous.
Yes. But yeah, the Green Knight himself was also amazing. he,
sir,
Ralph
you
Ineson,
flinch.
yeah.
he,
Yeah.
he literally sat there and was like, what day is it? It's Christmas, man.
I don't know.
he said, is it really?
At that second flinch, he was just like, "Man, are we doing this or not?" Like,
Come on, bro.
Was I that way when I was in your position?
fucking,
But
the
anyway.
dad from The Witch with that gravel voice, yeah.
But ultimately, once I cleared up everything about the end, just a great movie, great tale. It made me question myself of like, okay, why do I like this so much? Because it wasn't very like super in depth. In fact, it was like chapter, end, and it wasn't like a whole bunch of.
The Hustler Bull? Oh, yeah.
The
Go off over
scavenger,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. You find
You
some.
know you seen that boy off Brown Walnut. You know you seen.
He's gonna be in the Eternals. by
Yes,
the
he
way.
is.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Barry Keoghan, something like that.
I don't know nothing about Marvel's New Gods.
Oh, in Eternals, yeah, he's going
Yeah.
to be really interesting. But I was saying his real name.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying the character's name.
Nope, fair enough.
That'll learn you. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Yeah.
They
So
did.
to bring in the, guess to tie this up really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to crack my fingers.
All right.
But
gotta do better.
the movie, The Green Knight, does a spectacular job of summing up one of my like mantras, catchphrases, I guess I would say. We are the choices we make.
That is true.
Um,
He only said it 7 times throughout the movie.
maybe 5.
In case you didn't get it. Yeah.
In case you didn't get it. But I say that often in life in general because that's often how I feel with decision making in life. That we, at the end of the day, we are the we are the sum of our choices, right? And there was a lot of times when he was just a good person,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't always his choice.
Yeah.
Like he just was because he was just like, all right, I'm called off guard by this dead ghost girl, or you know,
Yeah, that
Or, you know.
moment when she was like, "Why did you ask me that?"
right?
In
would
fairness, there was nothing holding him to that. He could have walked away.
He
Nope.
could have,
Like she called him out when he said, "What's in it for me?"
right?
And then he was like, "Yeah, you're right," and he did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was often not at the you didn't. The movie doesn't ever explicitly tell you like of his goodness, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like sometimes he's an okay guy. Sometimes he's like, I just gotta get this done, man. Like,
he's sort of a dick.
right.
Yeah.
And
He's a dude. Like he's
He's-
relatable.
what I like for the direction of this movie was like they barely, if at all, identify address his race.
Oh, yeah.
But they kind of still do from the aspirations of Morgan Le Fay, where she's like, no, I want my son to be great. Like she was, a lot of the story unravels based on her like aspirations for his greatness. Go ahead.
So, but this is a big question of like, was she like kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow and she had an idea and it like got off the rails and she was like, all right, I'm gonna just improvise? Or did she really like, I know how my son's gonna respond. I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, like, because
So
she
think
does, she's like,
It's a
go
great
to the,
question, honestly.
Yeah.
she says, go to the party. And then she starts doing her like Rita Repulsa shit. And then like make my monster, you know, and then he steps in. You don't know who's going to like
Take
Oh,
the
them
challenge.
knights was like, who decided
Right.
you and whose turn?
I was gonna say,
Are
if
you
she-
main character?
If she had that plan, she left a lot to chance.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But at
there
the
was a
same
lot
time,
to the
I
roll of
think-
the dice.
I think Morgan Le Fay, loosely based on of legend, right, often has a little closer depth of knowledge, an intuition of humanity of the people of her time. The only person she really can't, know or identify as Merlin.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Merlin couldn't identify that this was an act of her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Arthur looked at him. Merlin was like,
yo, Arthur was like, "Hey, yo, what's going on?" Like,
Which one was Merlin?
the bull with the tattoos on his face, the Post Malone.
He was like,
he peeped that old Post Malone and was like, "Say something, bro." And he's like, "Nah, he not with us."
What's up? Like, we're going to do this.
So, I resonated with that, I think, a little bit more because sometimes our parents just project, and even as a dad, like, you project, this level of greatness and aspirations that you may have on your child, and so you may set things in motion without fully noticing or knowing what they will in turn either respond to or come out of this, because you put them through that trial of fire and you don't know if you're getting a diamond or if you're getting coal.
You think that feeds into why Gawain was so eager to prove himself?
I think
because
so.
He grew up with Morgan Le Fay's mom, trying to constantly push that greatness for him.
Yeah,
but he was so eager to jump over that table. And
he also had at the same time he had King Arthur being his uncle. Like the expectation of greatness did not just exist within his house; it existed in the land. Yeah. So really? Literally when they he woke up,
house, right?
Yeah,
his King Arthur's his mother's brother.
But even then, he was like, last time I held you, you was a baby. Last time we
exactly,
had a conversation, you was goo goo gaga.
But I thought, so because of that, I thought that the King Arthur and his mom, like, something happened, like, we don't talk. Like, if it's because, like, she's a witch, it's like, I can't be seen in public with you, you know what I mean? Because you be doing that Rita Repulsa, so, like, I can't do it. And so I thought it was her.
Sticking with Rita Repulsa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We here now.
I thought it was, like, her, like, she felt spited, and, like, she's like, oh, that's how you gonna treat me?
Well, I think both of them acknowledge the fact that, like, he would be next in line. Like, Arthur didn't have kids.
Yeah.
And was
air-wise.
And he was at the end of his reign.
Right.
Like you could tell.
Oh, man. That was COVID-19 riddling both of them.
That was COVID 100.
Yeah.
He was tired.
Those was 100 BC. Like, they was out here coughing. And, no, like, I really resonated with that portion of, like, she went as far as to set it up. When she realized he played it wrong, she was like, I got this other thing to cover you, so nothing bad's going to happen. You just got to get to point A to point B. And I think sometimes as parents or even in leadership, like, we will give people directions without actually knowing the person that you're directing. Like, if you don't know your audience at the same time, you're like,
your team.
Like, right. You just like, all right, cool. You got this. I'm going to delegate this to you. Knowing that this may not be your strong suit. You like to drink, you like to, be around. And
you just be around one.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was there. And they knew his name. They all knew his name.
That's true.
So
you think Arthur was in on it with Morgan Le Fay from the start?
No, I think at the same time he was recognizing, like, this is a moment for you to cultivate your story. Right. And
Goldar,
because he's already got to be thinking about his legacy. He knows he's on his way out, and his wife's on her way out.
Which is why he was kind of setting it up. He was definitely like, "Hey, find your story's going to find you." And so, in all of that, that's kind of the big piece that I took away from it was just like, while we are still the choices we make, sometimes we get projected upon, and at the same time, that's the cost of who we come out to be at the end of the day. Right. So, you may still succeed in your job, but at the same time, may not come out a little, whoa.
You might be no knight by the
right. You may not be. You probably not going to be a knight. So,
real quick, what did we think? Oh, I'm sorry, you were about to give your rating.
No, I mean, what was your question?
I was gonna say real quick, what did we think about the king who was the Green Knight and his wife and all that stuff? Like,
the Lord and the lady.
Joe Edgerton's Lord.
Yeah. How do we feel about their involvement in the scheme? Like, or was it like, that's another thing. Was it a scheme? Because like now it's like, were they even, because in the original tale, he's actually the Green Knight. And
they allude to that too in this.
And
if you watch
they do
closely,
make the interesting choice of having Ralph Ineson play the Green Knight and the role that is credited as Lord Joel Edgerton. When, like, I feel like if they really wanted to imply they would truly want, they would just have Joel Edgerton in green makeup.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's, especially with Arthurian legends, is sometimes the metaphor, right? Like the way
that's true.
things are being told to you. So you want to perceive them as the character would perceive them, as they might be the same, but they look different. They talk different.
Like the blindfolded old woman at Lord and Lady's house, being
Right.
Morgan Le Fay, because that's
Right.
Because that's how she
she's still
sees.
watching over him. Yeah,
Right.
especially in the scene where he is no knight.
Yeah.
That's not weird at all.
That was creepy.
Which is how she
Come on.
pretty much was tracking like the whole story, because she knew that at when he came back, like
Was she the
you ain't
fox?
I think she was.
Yeah.
She was the fox.
I think there was an implication that she was the fox,
or that the fox was a messenger,
Yeah.
because the fox can talk and had its own voice. But
but also the
You
fox
can talk
did
this
the,
whole time?
Right.
The fox did try and warn Gawain away from his destiny at the Green Chapel.
I think
That's
he
true.
presented him
Interesting.
with a choice.
So
I
was
don't.
it a test?
I was I feel like one with this story, everything was a test.
True.
Everything was a test, whether it was either intentional or
Happened to be there.
happenstance. So because of
I
all of that,
said my services ain't free.
right? She was like, either you gonna make me a lady.
Well, no, the hustler bull in the
Oh
woods.
yeah, even him.
A kindness, sir.
Right, yeah, it's a kindness, mother.
Right.
Oh, we ain't got no kindness. Okay. Cool. Go right. Go
That's
right.
like
Go right there.
right when you get on the sub, you give them $1, and next thing you know, they stand in front of you thinking that's not enough, and they start singing. Excuse me, everybody, I'd like to have your attention.
So I'm sorry. What would you give the?
Yeah, you keep counting them up.
Everybody hurts. Everybody cries. Ma'am, you don't smell good.
Please. I don't ask you for a lot. I know I joke a lot. Please get that info.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Some people, Hollywood
Can you
celebrities,
present the movie?
Hollywood celebrities out here ain't bathing either. So it's
we
yeah,
can wait and hear the runtime
Yeah.
of the film The Green Knight for a number from Dan.
yeah. So
It's not a short movie. Either.
no, I mean it's not a short movie. But that being said, I give this a 4. I think it's worthy of Academy nominations
Is that
if it
force
gets in.
across the board?
It
I think
is.
so. I think this is a solid film. And I
That's the
think
first.
Yes, it is.
yeah, I do think it's worthy of any nominations it gets. But at the same time, like if it doesn't win, we
I
know
wouldn't be
why.
surprised.
Yeah.
Like because
I'm still
A24 was kind of still like we
Yeah.
do things out here. So we have reached the end of BNR. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you, Kent, for joining us.
Hey,
The DM.
thank you for having me.
That's
Kaiju
right.
Kent.
Kaiju Kent.
We're workshopping that still, I think.
It doesn't
I feel
matter.
like we are not 100% of the way to that. But
Now
yeah.
we are on John
Getting
Jagadas.
Oh yeah, that's
That
the other
too.
one. I was trying to remember it.
Tony Digger.
Those are like the top two: Kaiju Kent and
He was
John
my main
Juggalo.
in Godzilla Save the Earth. I will say that.
Oh, you and all the 19 people that play Godzilla Save
All right, look, you didn't have to kill me
All
on
right.
the screen like that.
So don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Those bells and whistles all are there on YouTube. You could also buy a shirt.
Buy a sweatshirt like Ken, who bought a sweatshirt.
Did I?
You
Good night, everybody.
You did now. Y'all have a blessed night.